Hello and welcome to True Tempo. It's been a while. It's summer and it's also a Fantasticar summer. And last week I had a bunch of work, but regardless, I wasn't very motivated to play because I think it's a weird time, as it sometimes is when you have a kind of format changing card that I think will be banned, and I think it certainly should be banned in August. So yeah, that makes for a format which is temporary, I hope, meaning that kind of putting in the time is, I mean, it's interesting. It's always interesting to do the best. Just speaking for myself, I think it's interesting to do the best I can in a metagame. But I am more interested when that is kind of a long-term project, when I can see especially towards a big tournament. If I was playing the ELM, which is this week, then I would have been working on playing the best Fantasticar deck, the best card deck, for sure. But that's not the case. So yeah, anyways, I had a small pause, but now I have some time and want to play some Magic and try and win some games in this car metagame. So before going to the deck list, I want to talk a bit about my thoughts about this card. Um, I think it should be banned because it's very strong. It's like a broken storm card and much more, making it really tough for non-blue decks to like to register for an important tournament, because you know that maybe half the room, at least in the towards the end of the round, might be playing this this card that can easily be activated or like make for friends turn one. And you don't have a lot of good main deck options if you're not in blue to beat that. You have sideboard cards like Force of Vigor, Force of Despair, and sometimes Mindbreak Trap, but you can't play those main, of course. So I think this metagame, before it started, like just after seeing the first couple of lists, I thought that we're gonna have a metagame where you have a bunch of combo and a bunch of tempo, because tempo can definitely be built to beat the different card decks. But the non-blue fair decks like Cradle Control, Energy, Lands, Death and Taxes, um, some Stompy decks, and yeah, a bunch of other more or less tier 2 decks that can be fine. Nick Fitz was actually starting to make results, and so on. These decks, if they run a really poor gambit, if you register for a tournament, you can get paired with the tempo decks and have a great day. But that's not very likely to happen in all the rounds. So you're gonna have some really tough matchups and maybe some very easy ones, but that's very skewed. That's very imbalanced. When you play tempo in this metagame that I imagine, which I think is also what we see, then you can have some fine matchups against the car decks. Because, well, it's only fine if you really build towards beating it, but that's not that hard to do out of blue tempo. But then you still might get paired against those poor son of guns that register the fair non-blue decks. And since you're now built to beat the car on the stack, especially, you have a much worse setup. It was already bad against these fair non-blue decks, but now it's even worse. So making it almost not impossible, but not very likely that you can get there, including the sideboarded games. And then when you play the card deck, one of the card decks, you can run into people who are over built to beat you. But I think in general, those who are built to beat you, they're just going to have a slightly favorable matchup because the card decks are filled with good cards like Thoughtseize and Daze and Force. So it's never going to be completely skewed. And you have some great matchups against the people who chose to submit their pet deck, which happened to be non-blue fair. So with that kind of rock paper scissors math in mind, I think you have to, if you want to win a tournament, you should play a card deck these days. You can make a great case for like maybe you can build a tempo deck that is all round, and I understand that challenge. It's kind of what I'm hoping to do today, but I'm not very optimistic. Let me put it like that. I think the blue-white Phelia decks look the best in that sense because they can also play Wrath of the Skies, which is great against the non-blue fair decks. And if I thought this metagame was longer, I think I would be working on blue-white Phelia, but it's not a deck that attracts me much, and I think we just have a metagame that's gonna last for one more month, so I'm just gonna play Izzet or Dimir, I think, in the time being. Um, and I think I have a bunch of things to say about the card, but it's one of the things I said on Twitter was that I think most decks with cantrips would be better with at least one car in the 75, whether you're playing combo, tempo, or control. I've only played one league in this metagame with a similar list to what I have behind the Fantasticar screenshot. And I played against 3 card decks. One of them was Storm, maybe Tess, I'm not sure, but Storm. One of them was a tempo version, and the last one was blue-white control, which I haven't seen before. But blue-white control with the car and baubles, but no bad cards, no petals, and no rituals. So no cards that go down in card advantage. So they just like play a control game, and then at 3 mana, if they want to, they can play it, and maybe probably play enough spells the turn after between Bauble and Flow State and other cantrips to attack for 16. And that's like, it's a bit like 4th Dialingas. Or some other payoff like control finishes that, Monastery Mentor is the one I thought about, where you paid for 3 and then you play for 3 or more with 4th Dialingas, and then you can kind of take over the game more or less quickly. With 4th Dialingas, you need a lot more mana to win quickly. With Mentor, it's very fragile. It's not very played anymore. But this is a bit like a Mentor that is indestructible. You can't shoot it with a fatal push or something with a plow. And even if you don't have a lot of spells, it's pretty easy making it a 4/4 flying attacking creature, which is still going to win the game pretty fast. So I think that's a good way to build control. And the card is just too good. That's the short end of it. So what to do? This is what I want to be doing. It's basically classic aggressive Delver Izzet tempo with 4 flow state. So I only have 10 creatures in the main deck. I have 11 counter spells. 9 of them being free. Spell Pierce is really good against the Reanimator deck because it's also very good post board. It's good, of course, against the car, against the Sneaking Show. It's a nice one. I only have 4 removal spells, which is because I think that this metagame doesn't have a lot of creatures in it. but it also means that if I do get paired against creatures, I might have a tough day at the office. So the main deck, I think, like I can just cut it, like make it really clear cut why I want to do this. Basically, I'm pre-siding against combo in the sense that against combo you don't want a lot of threats. You just need one, basically. But you also want to find it pretty fast. So I think 10 is a good number. It could be, well, I'd say between 9 and 11 is the way you want to be. Flow state is here to like to get back some cards when you force, and it's just good against both combo and control. It's just a very good card, even if you only have 4 ponder, because we have a DRC putting cards in the bin. And then in the sideboard, if I do get paired against control or tempo, I can board in 2 cutters. So I have 12 threats. I can board in some heats. I'm not playing any rough tumbles because I think energy is just a bad choice these days, and against cradle control, which is also a bad choice. I think it's like rough tumble is not extremely good, and if I can get there maybe with just heat and bouncing their big whites and so on, the big creatures, then hopefully I can get there. But I'm banking on not facing a lot of those decks. Echoing Truth is here for several reasons, but the primary is that it's an answer to a car that has made 4 tokens, but it's also an answer to some of their sideboard or dukes or main deck dukes, like Murktide, maybe a Baragoyf, even like against I don't know if they play Doomsday and they have Jace, we can bounce the Jace in response to them drawing the last card. That's very narrow, but you know, it's a blue card. It's just a bounce spell that happens to kill 4 cards. So I think that's pretty good. I don't have a lot of consigns because, like I was saying, I'm pre-boarded pretty much against those decks, and I don't think we have a lot of Forge decks in the metagame, and I think I can beat Forge without a lot of consigns. So I don't want to have too many cards in the sideboard to board in when I do meet the card decks, whether it's Storm, Doomsday, Tempo. I have between these 4 and Pyroblast, I have more than enough. So, and yeah, maybe more than enough is the word. So maybe I'm not always bringing in Echo. I mean, if it's only to shoot the cast, I don't think I'm bringing in 2, maybe 1, but I'm banking on beating the cast on the stack. I'm playing only 2 Graveyard Hate because Reanimator has a bunch of dukes in the sideboard between Show and Tell, Stronghold Gambit, and Sneak Attack. So I don't want to be caught with too many of these cards. I'm playing Cage because of Echo of Eons against Storm. And I'm playing Hydroblast because of Squelcher and the Mishra and Sneak Attack, yeah. So yeah, that's what's up. That's what I want to try today, and let's see how it goes. And sorry I didn't start right away. I'm playing against what I think is a Delver based on their history. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm playing against Underground Sea. I'm getting seized. So I kept this hand. I do have land too many, but Delver, Daze, and a Ponder will get me going, is what I was thinking. Get me going, and that's good enough for me. I believe in the top of my deck to deliver a Brainstorm and make everything good. So then them changing it up in this in this context. I like the Pierce because when they're playing Underground Sea, I'm thinking um, car tempo. So do I want a Pierce, but then also get a land, or maybe I just draw the Pierce. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw the Pierce and next turn draw the Bauble and fetch. I could have Baubled now and draw the Pierce in their turn, but then I draw the land on my turn, and I don't want the land for sure. They Brainstorm into my Daze. I take that as a possible bait. So they know about Daze. They don't know about the rest. Well, the lands. The fact that they took Delver doesn't mean much because it's easy to play around Daze, and like it gives them time that I don't have a Delver regardless of the deck they're on. So they don't have a fetch. They can't shuffle. I assume that's not ideal. So now I am fetching and pondering. I want to keep up mana. I want to find threats and okay. Flow state is good. Maybe Wasteland is okay. So, but is this good enough? I think it's okay. Yeah, because I have these counter spells. I'm banking on them to, of course, not be on creatures, and I'm not playing my Bauble, funnily enough. I could play it, but it doesn't really. Thing is, I don't want to draw that Thundering Falls. I think I'll just keep it. Yeah. Like I can draw Chandler and it'll be nice. And I really don't want to crack it here. Dark Ritual. Okay, so I'm hoping that my Pierce will be good enough. I'm gonna let this resolve. And if they have a Daze, I'll be in trouble. Here's the car. Probably in trouble regardless. Okay. So they're gonna get me, I assume. Is there any point in... If I Daze and their last spell costs mana, then this will work, or work to some degree. So let's try and do it. Okay, awesome. So they have a car, and they didn't have a Daze. I have a bad card on top. I can either Wasteland. I think I just want a flow state. Get good cards and then Wasteland next turn. Daze and a Wasteland. Yeah. Now I can Bauble another card. That's a bad draw for them. So let's see if we can waste them out of the game before we're dead. But I mean, this is going to attack for 4 pretty easily, turn after turn. So I'm not happy about the state of things. Now we can play it over and waste, and we just need them to stop playing spells. And we have infinite lands. Yeah, the fact that it's good even when you can't make 4 friends, just in a fair way, is pretty overpowered. Oh my god. Well, gonna wasteland and see if we can get there. It's not impossible. Okay, they're going for the big one. Pedal into Brainstorm. Maybe they have another pedal already. Otherwise, yeah. Let's see. They might be stopped in their tracks, dead in their tracks, or I might be dead. Okay, looks like I'm dead. Yeah, that was a tough one. They had a car backed with force, and I just had a pierce and a daze. So close. But yeah, maybe if I had more spells, I could have gotten there. So we didn't see much. We saw flow state. I don't think they're a Doomsday player. I think they're a tempo player. So these are the cards that I'm looking at. And they could play Tamio, but I have the Pyroblast, so I'm not excited about bolts. I don't need infinite baubles for sure. Like, I don't mind cutting some. And I don't mind cutting a Wasteland either, because they're a 2-color deck. I'm good with this. Sorry. All right, let's. Gonna keep. And I'm not gonna play Thundering Force. I can get rid of that with a Brainstorm. I'm just gonna look like I'm a very strong consign pilot and take it from there. Like basically make them uninterested in going for it right away. So it's nice that they play something I can waste. I don't think they play Stifle, but I do know they play Daze, so I'm gonna play like this. This is definitely at the risk of getting comboed on their turn with me having no force of wills. But you gotta play the threat there, I think. Huh. Okay. So I can play 2 Chandler, play a land, and then Brainstorm gives me a lot of looks. I can also play it cooler because I have Consign, Pyroblast, Pierce. Just play one at a time, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. Gonna play it slow. Also plays around their Daze a bit. Here's another land I can waste, which is nice. I was also kind of... And I was in the middle of a sentence. That's what I'm banking on. I think that was the end of it. I just had a small conversation outside of the game with a person in the house. That's fine. I'd be very surprised if any of these decks play Bowmasters, because it's just not a very good, or yeah, it doesn't seem like the most high impact card in the format these days. Like in a list with not a lot of space. I can assume I'm getting Thoughtseize. So let's Brainstorm. And maybe hide. Something like that. Could be quite nice to have with all these lands we have in play. The thing is that Echoing Truth is very nice to get rid of the cast once you're in the later part of the game, if they use petals and so on. I think I'm gonna just put... Just put... I don't want to draw this Thundering Falls. I'm just gonna hide the Echoing, and they're gonna take Force of Negation if they want. Yeah. Okay, so now they can see what's on top. They know what's coming. But that doesn't mean that their life is much easier. And like against a deck like this, I don't hate taking 16. The thing is that now when it's in the hand, they can potentially discard it first. But if they don't have that luxury, I think, yeah, I think the play is Chandler, Wasteland. Hold up, Brainstorm. I'm not gonna do anything now, but let's see how they play into this, knowing that I have Echoing Truth. Preordain, yeah. So there's a real chance to bottom that they don't have what they need at all, and like they're facing a lot of damage here potentially. So we should get going. I think I'm gonna Brainstorm end of turn because of that, so I can get Delirium. If they Daze, that's fine. I can also hide the Truth if they discard me here. Okay, plenty of these bad cards. Well, Petal is the first bad card. Dark Ritual. They've played at 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth spell, right? Baragoyf. Okay. Well, let's Brainstorm in response. That might be good. Hoping they don't have a Force of Will, of course. Hoping I can bounce and then waste. Okay, well. In that case, well, I'm not getting Delirium, which is pretty awful. I'm gonna save these and force and just see if my 1/1s can get there. Okay, looks like it's I mean, I think it's the chances are pretty good of me getting there with 1/1s at this point, with me having Anchoring Truth. But let's see. It only takes like Paragraph 2 days to get me, or something else along those lines. This maybe I'm paying the price of boarding out 2 bubbles here, for sure. Okay, they take 1. All right, that's a good one. Let's see if I can hit a sorcery on the surveil triggers. I can hit this one. That's also very good for Delirium. And huh. I feel like it's either Bauble, so I can maybe get a force, but actually I think it's the land, because then I can play around Daze on my Echoing Truth. They need to have like defensive cars now. Being at 17 is pretty important. And they can't Thoughtseize me in the middle of it because they're 2. So it's looking good. Pretty interesting game. But yeah, Paragraph, I have to respect that in sideboarding. I think once you see Paragraph, it's likely they play a bunch. Yeah. Okay, we got there. I have 2 heats that I am considering. I think I want to get rid of a flow state and a Daze for those heats. Yeah. On the draw. But yeah, their deck is nice. The fact that you can threaten turn 1 almost combo win, and also have Dark Ritual Baragoi flow state. Good stuff. Well, I'm gonna keep. They don't play Wastelands. I am a bit soft, for sure, to explosive stuff. That is okay, though. They take the Delver, I have Pierce, Misty for Surveil. Yeah, that's fine. With 1 land and 3 days, I'm dazing anything I see, including that one. Because I'm not making my land traps, and these days will run out of targets, potentially. Okay, let's see what they have. Just a ponder. So now I'm banking on Pierce and Pyroblast to get me there, backed up by Daze. But it's not ideal, of course. Dazing a 1-drop. They didn't shuffle with Ponder. They have infinite lands. Flow state. So do I Pierce or Pyroblast? They know about the Pierce. They know about the Pierce. Pierce is good-ish against. Yeah, I'm gonna Pierce because Pierce is gonna get worse. Like if they play another land, then Explode State is out of range, and they Daze. Well, such is life. They will Flow State. Yeah, so Pierce has a target in the car, where Pyroblast doesn't do anything. But, okay, now do I Daze? I think I do. I just want to trade cards still, when I'm not making more land drops. Like, I'm definitely in this game, even though it feels a bit poor. It's a shame I don't have a Ponder yet. Okay, let's Brainstorm. Get to the promised land. Like that. That's perfect. I'll put 2 Flow State on top so I can Chandler and then Daze, get one of them in the bin. And also have protection towards the Thoughtseize on Flow State. And Thoughtseize on a Force and still be able to Force. It's pretty good, pretty good. And a Flow State. This Daze is not very good. They have 3 cards. I think I should see if we can press my advantage here. Brainstorm in response, hoping to find a Daze. Okay, And a Bauble, they see my flow state. Now I'm attacking. Let's see if my flow state resolves. That's pretty important, of course. But like, not that. A blue card and something else. Oh, well, I guess I'll take a Pyroblast and Thundering Pulse. I just bend, but I'll still take the fetch. Since it's better if I draw Brainstorm or something along those lines. Thoughtseize. Alright. So, flow state. Murktide. Ugh. That was worst case scenario. Thoughtseize into Murktide. That was pretty perfect. And, well, this is gonna be all she wrote. Close game. Okay, I can replay it, then I can force, well, I'm not dead, that's the point. Let's see if this works. I need them to have nothing, of course. But yeah, just having, I'm kind of jealous of their deck because like Murktide and Bergolf, they have so much impact. They don't have a lot of these cards. Like I have to fill up with 1-drops to make my Daze plan work, but they can just put in a smaller number of creatures, but they have a high impact, so they can flip a game by themselves. Which let's see what they're playing. Which Delver and Chandler can't. I mean, it's different ways of playing, of course, but so they're playing because they have 2 Murktides or what? In this way, I'm curious to why they play Dark Ritual. They could save that ritual for Car. No. Let's see. Makes sense if they have 2 Murktides that they play like this. So they can play them both. And that's definitely what's gonna happen. Now I need another bounce spell. Or Pyroblast would be better, of course. So we didn't see the car in... Did we see the car in any of the post-board games? I'm not sure. Okay, we have hope. I think I'm gonna fetch first. I have only 1 fetch in the deck anyways. I just need to find right now a Pyroblast. take a Bauble because I can draw. I can look here and concede. Okay, tight games. But yeah, Merctides and Bargoyfs got the better of me, kind of. Well, Merctides, but you get the gist. Let's see how it goes in round 2. Alright, round 2, and I have a hunch that my opponent is on Reanimator. This is a good hand. I'm hoping that Daze is good enough to begin with. It might not be the case, but well, on the play I think it's Daze. Like if they discard me, then I can brainstorm to find a force or something like that. So let's see if they are indeed on an unfair strategy. We will know. Well, maybe not. Swap, yeah, that's unfair. Alright. Deck ritual. Well, maybe Daze was not good enough. Cable therapy on themselves. So my Daze is definitely not good enough. Wow. They have Shellgrave, and I'm gonna have to read that one. Dun dun dun. So flying, when it's gonna attack and mail 3 cards, and they have to hit something off of this. They might not. They can cable therapy me. Am I gonna Daze? That's the question. They have. I don't think Daze does anything. So let's just see. Interest or tax, yeah, so it's 6 cards. Here's an Archon. Okay. I'm gonna concede. Oh well. Impressive. My puny Daze was not good enough. So we saw what looks to be mono black. But they can easily have a splash. We didn't see. I think they are more likely to be on Bargoyfs and stuff, is my hunch. They could be on Squelchers, but I don't think so. They could have Void Walkers and stuff. Echoing is just kind of a catch-all that's pitchable, so I'm good with that. I think I'm gonna try it like this. But yeah, I mean, I think this shows the strength of Reanimator with a Duke, because you can easily lose game 1 even if you're set up with a million forces if you don't have it early. And then they can be on some stuff that I can beat easily, like a million Bargoyfs. Mulligan this one and keep a good one. What do I bin? I think I'm gonna bin a second land. I only need 1 land. And I'm gonna play the cage. If they have discards, and if they're still on reanimation, then I want it in play. Okay, so they have red, probably for sneak attack. Unmask on me. Can they do something in this turn? Or will they just take a Delver? I doubt it. But yeah, I also didn't think they would be doing much. So Pierce is going to be strong. And that land is pretty fine, actually. So I can end of turn Brainstorm if I want for the flip. And I do think I want that. I don't think they have a Bowmaster. They know about the Pierce. I do want to play that Chandler. I guess I'm just putting Ponder and then Pierce. So even if they concede now or soon, we've learned that they're still reanimating and they have red mana for maybe sneak attack. So green mana, I think that means Chain of Smog combo. It does for sure. We don't know if they've brought it in, but I mean the Chain of Smog combo we can also beat on the stack, countering the Chain of Smog. So I'm not that afraid of that. Of that combo. Brainstorm. I'm gonna bin it just to get closer to actual gas. I guess wastelanding is fine since I'm on taxing stuff. And the reason for putting a Delver here would be that if they do something on their turn, I can get rid of it with a spell, trigger, and then get Surveil going, get DRC up and flying, and otherwise I'll just play it. I binned this one because sneak attack I'm not much afraid of. If they have Squelcher, well, they can still play it regardless, but I don't think it matters much when they have a fetch. I assume they have more than one source of each splash. Might be wrong. Yeah, Bayou. So 4 cards, 4 mana. This game is not over yet for sure. Unmask. 2 cards left. I mean, this happens. If they have sneak attack fatty, then I am sad that I'm drawing a Delver now. But I, of course, of course can't Daze or something, pierce that one just to get Delirium. So if they draw mana, Daze will still prevent them from activating a sneak attack. And And then if I have a Wasteland on tap, so okay, well, we got there. But to have lethal, I need something else on a Wasteland on tap or in the bin. Anyways, pretty sure they're on sneak attack. They could be on Squelchers, but that's quite rare, so I'm not gonna count on it. I don't really think that I should change anything. Oh wait, Hydroblast. I should get Hydroblast in here. Whoops, since I saw the but it's too late. Whoops, too fast. Plus, you know, if they have the Squelcher, then that's a good one. They could have Stronghold Gambit, so I have to think about that a bit. Yeah, I should have had the Hydroblasts in. But yeah, I might be kind of slightly overboarded on. I'm gonna keep and hope. Overboarded in a sense against Reanimator or against combo, since I have to board out Baubles a lot every time. But I don't know. I do like if the metagame is really combo infected, then I prefer having more counter spells and less aggressive delirium. Two fatties in the bin, okay. Let's see if Daze and Pierce will get there. I'm not wasting because, okay, that's awesome. I'm not playing a Channeler either. Like they're gonna go for it next turn. Channeler can wait. Thoughtseize, I guess I pierce it. I don't want to give them info. Okay, so now I can Wasteland and play Chandler, I think. Since I don't have Pierce to hold up, they don't have a lot of cards. Maybe they played around Daze with if they have Reanimate, they might just be waiting. Yeah. Two cards left. My Dazes are very bad. Therapy. Okay. What are they gonna say? Force of Will? Not Daze for sure. Yeah. Lucky to have the Force of Negation. Alright. I think I'm gonna Brainstorm. I wouldn't hate like a Wasteland. That is good to have in the bin. Bauble is great as well. Against one card. I mean, I don't need more threats. I'm gonna ponder, looking for more backup. I'm gonna bubble to get delirium. So I'm gonna get rid of maybe these Dazes are just, well, double Daze is okay. Is it just the Delver? Yeah, it's the Delver. And I'm gonna ponder first, and then I can get rid of a bad card with Bauble. It's likely to not have a lot of bad cards. Nice. So now I can draw the force, get rid of the land, and is there an argument for not drawing the force of negation if they have another therapy? I think so. I think I can wait a turn. So I can Daze. This is just discounting. I can Daze to swap for Petal. I think that's okay, actually. So they don't have that option later. That mana option. Say they have like Squelcher plus something. Having mana can beat counterspells. They take a force. And we draw another one. They're drawing a big one. It's not going to help them, I assume. The third land is not useless since we can hardcast Force of Negation. But yeah, we need to attack 4 times. It's a lot. It feels like a lot, even though they're really on low resources. I have a Surveil land. Now, since it didn't do anything last turn, I'm feeling pretty good. Wow, okay, they have a Shallow Grave that I can Daze. Which I'm definitely gonna do. I'm gonna get my Surveil going, I think. And Daze with that one. I mean, I think that's good. That is good. Since their life totals, their life total and reanimate is gonna clinch if I wasteland. Exhume. And we know they have an Atraxa. I'm gonna force this and waste and I hope that's good enough. I mean, I think it's gonna be good enough most of the time. Because they have to draw mana and like a 2-drop reanimation spell. Here's the mana. Brainstorm, nice one. Let's find gas. Echoing Truth is not exactly gas. It was a blue card though. So now now I don't have much to do, but hope and pray. Maybe it was good enough. Echoing Truth. Maybe I should have thought a bit more about that. I was thinking that with Archon it wasn't good enough. Exhume Archon or something, but yeah, I don't know. I got there, but maybe that was wrong. Yeah, let's have another round. All right, round 3. My opponent has modern results, and I can't really judge from. I don't know. I'm gonna keep this hand. I don't have an idea of what they're playing. Okay, they are playing a blue-white deck with Force of Will. Maybe it's the Phelia deck. That's the most likely. I can Island Ponder because they might play Stifle, but they're also a 2-drop heavy deck, so I could start by bobbling them, see what they draw. Another force. I'm gonna wasteland. Okay, so that's the payoff that you can get sometimes when you waste. And I'm gonna just go island because I really just wanna not get wasted myself. Okay, perfect. Lands and a threat. I'm wondering when I play the Bauble. I'm not gonna get rid of any of these lands, I think, so I'm just gonna bubble through them, so to speak, right away. Yeah, not drawing a land. This is easy peasy so far. Yeah, they put a Phelia to the bin, and now I'm just an instant away from playing flow states. And that instant will be Daze. Force again. Down to 3 cards. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna force. I don't think so. I'm thinking. I'm wondering if I can have too many cards. Like I. Yeah. Because I'm gonna draw so many cards. Probably I'm gonna force. Because I might just be flow stating into like more than 7 cards in theory. Like worst case is they have Tundra Plow here, but that's a fine scenario as well. All right, so the Phelia deck where we had like a round, like game 1 bye, which is pretty boring but nice. I'm not sure about Cutter, but I think it's coming in. Okay, so in this matchup, the clutch things are not getting stifled early. We need bolts for Phelia. They have Tamios, we have Pyroblast, but the Riddler is also kind of a must counter. It's really nice to get it when it's 2 mana because the games go long, so they can play it on 5 very often. Spell Pierce does not have a bunch of text, but it does take some of the pressure off Pyroblast in battling stuff like Stifle. Again, I think cards like a Wasteland, a Bauble might be cuttable, but I don't want to waste them before they go too high. Force of Will and Daze are of course somewhat cuttable. I think I'm gonna, let's see, I am on the draw, make some kind of, and Cutter is, I mean it's good against all of the removal, the white removal, but they do play Wrath of the Skies, so it's not like, I think I'm gonna do like this. Awesome. So why am I playing Force of Will? Because they have like mini combos they set up with Phelia and Riddler. It's a tempo game where if they don't assemble those synergies, or like get a good Wrath of the Skies in, if they can't assemble that, then we have the upper hand. And it's also, yeah, it's essential. They're the bigger deck, but we can kind of get under them. So that's why I'm keeping in some forces. But like these numbers might be a bit wrong. But I think it's fine seeing a force in a game. And Unholy Heat is also like a possibility. We keep 7, we don't. And this is fine. Guess I'm gonna get rid of a threat. Get rid of the Delver. But if I want to lead on Island, Delver is actually better than Channeler. So I'm gonna do that island so I can kind of go from Delver to Ponder to flow state. This is not a deck that can, my deck is not a deck that can justify playing Mountain, but it is pretty nice to have in matchups like this. And now from their turn 2, wow, they force. That's aggressive. From their turn 2, I have to be wary of Phelia. Phelia by itself is not a problem when I don't have a threat, but then I have to be wary of Riddler with Phelia. Tundra that I can waste potentially, and a Riddler. Okay. I think I'm okay. Going for Ponder, wasting, and then yeah, this is all good in that order. So now I have my instant for flow state. I have a Chandler. So next turn I can put Murktide in the bin if I want to, but I don't think so. They don't have a lot of cards, so between Chandler first, and then flow state, then after that Murktide might be able to win the game. So, I mean, this tells me they don't have the second land. They might, but I feel like if they had the second land, there's a good chance they also have one of their 2-drops or something else, so we wouldn't have to play a Ponder like that. Okay, go for a plane, sure. Play around Stifle. And I will play my Chandler. Like at this point, the island is hurting me because I don't have Pyroblast up. It was only good in the first couple of turns to get me kind of safe into the mid game, and now, yeah, it's just kind of an issue. Okay, that's fine. They're gonna draw a card. Question is, what do I want to do next turn? I'm not gonna max out, but do I want it for afterwards? I think I do. Think I'm gonna keep it. The thing is, if they have a Daze on my flow state, maybe that's okay. I'm gonna put it on top. Cutter is not super interesting. Yeah, I don't have a bunch of spells. This is, I think, okay. If I find like a land and that, huh. Do I want a force and a Chandler instead? I think so. I feel like this. I'm changing my plan here. I'm getting a question about flow states. If I have more sorceries than Ponder and flow state, which I don't have to answer in the middle of the game, but I will. Okay, Wasteland is what I was afraid of. And I'm gonna force here. And hopefully find a land. And hopefully my force resolves. All those things. They also force. Okay. With a Tameo. So I have nothing if I don't find a land. I'm in a red producing land. Nice one. That should get it right. One card left. The pitch the Tameo. I don't. Well, maybe they kept the Daze, but I think they would have kept. I mean, Daze is pretty good, and then Ponder next turn. I'm gonna keep this and go Ponder, Daze, Bauble. They have a land, so my Daze might be bad. So we have a chit chat. They say they're new to the game, new to Legacy at least. Okay, Ponder. So if they have Phelia, well, I need a land regardless. They have some Riddlers in exile. Okay, so they could have one card that could be nothing. It could be Phelia. It could be, well, it's not nothing. It's something. It could be Stifle. Stifle is the worst one. I didn't see any yet, but yeah, it's like, what am I achieving? I'm not beating that Stifle anyway, so I think I should just go for it. I mean, they're not gonna tap out from Stifle. And if they have a Phelia, it has to be Phelia Riddler to be really, really good. Okay, my opponent is just taking a pause, so I'm pausing as well. All right, DRC resolves, so they don't have Daze. Is it Phelia? Removal, force. Okay, so it wasn't swords, it wasn't Phelia. Fetching. So what is this? Murktide. It's a fairy. Wrath of the Skies. Well, let's Daze with the volcanic. Because if I draw a cantrip, then I will cantrip on the island and hold up Pyroblast here. Huh. One Wrath gone, but will I play into a second? I'm keeping this. Don't know if I'm playing it yet. Okay, so they don't have any tricks up their sleeve. They don't want to Phelia. I am playing into a top decked Wrath more when they're on Hellbent. That's just life if it happens. Okay, ending, which is much more likely. Ending a plow. Nice one. Let's attack first. And that's a good one. If they draw land, they have Riddler, so okay. Gonna get Wasteland and Flooded. There's no reason to. I think I'm just gonna flood it. Like it holds up Pyroblast on something else, like a cantrip. Will seal the deal if I counter it, for instance. And I'm not gonna crack Flooded. I am just gonna attack. Okay. So double bolt. Should get there. Well, it will. And we'll have a game 3. I think, right? This is only game 2. No, that was the match. Sorry. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop it here so I can upload tomorrow, and I'll probably like play. I already have ideas for the next next iteration of Izzet in this metagame, which I'm not still not in love with. I've only played against Combo and Blue-White so far in 2 leagues, which is funny. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.